What thing is secretly just one giant scam? Emails and messages from corporates and celebrities that, "We are in this together," during the pandemic. Pretty much anything that says it will enlarge your penis. The whole baby product industry is based on making parents feel worthless and irresponsible if they don't shill out for things that will be outgrown or unnecessary in 6 months. Casinos. All of the casinos in my state are video poker and video slot machines. There are barely any table games left. No one is happy, no one is having fun. It's just a room full of zombies feeding the machines and losing money. Every person I talk to is convinced that they know the secret formula to win. You cannot win. It might sound trivial, but the old slots were just a spinning reel. These new machines are extremely addictive. The way the lights flash and the sounds go off like, carrot, bing, bing. Winner carrot, of 40 cents. The entire thing is a psychology hack to give people the impression that they're winning when they're not. Ink cartridges for your printer are super cheap to manufacture, but the retail price is really high. Any claim that a magic drink will help you burn fat. No drink or no food can burn that is a pure fabrication. Anything that says it will detox your body. That's what your kidneys are for. Corporate-owned apartment complexes tacking on hundreds of extra dollars in monthly fees on top of rent. Mandatory cable TV packages, parking fees, on a flat surface lot, with no assigned parking, valet trash. All a scam and just a way for them to pocket incremental sales on top of rent. Adobe's subscription-based monopoly. All multi-level marketing companies. They tell you that all you have to do is get 5 people to sign up and they each get 5 people to sign up, etc. Except these are not mathematical geniuses running these companies. By the time you get about 12 levels deep, you've surpassed the entire population of the Earth. It's a good lesson in exponents. Any product that's made by Gwyneth Paltrow. Funeral services, preying on the grief of loved ones. I understand that it's really for the living to celebrate their lost loved ones. But when I'm done, I just want my family to bury my dead ass in the backyard and throw a bash at the house in my honor. Doubt all mine considering I'm dead. Essential oils being marketed as having these major health benefits, as treatment for illnesses. The only exception being clearing your sinuses. Some essential oils actually do pretty good work in that regard, at least for me personally. Mileage will vary, I'm sure. Convincing every high school kid they need to go to university. In reality, skilled trades or another specialized school would be the best route for a lot of people, and the pay can be very good. Bottled water. Looking at you, Nestlé. The lottery. U.S. healthcare system. I went to the a few weeks ago for an unknown pain in my chest and overall shitty feeling. Got slapped with a $1,500 bill with what turned out to be viral food poisoning. My brother, who is a doctor, said that was normal. Why the fuck is that normal? Recycling plastics. Less than 10% of plastic waste is actually recycled. That humans are here to just work and die. No way humans evolved so we can work 5 of 7 days of the week, trying to jam fun in on weekends. The fucking wedding industry in the US, $20,000 $30,000 for a single day, stressful as hell event. When I learned a photographer alone runs $5,000 minimum, I almost puked. And a lot of venues didn't give a shit about COVID and hosted packed weddings, resulting in deaths because, we gotta make money somehow, man. Shrugging, absolute slime balls. Now, before all the vendors dogpile me, let me be clear, I'm fully aware why you guys charge as much as you do. I also hope you understand why an average person like me looks at the price and says hell no. And for those that want a conventional wedding, if you can swing it, do whatever you want. My wife and I did a sandals all-inclusive VACA wedding, honeymoon, which has its own pros and cons but still a no-brainer due to the cost and convenience. What is the most believable conspiracy theory? That a lot of modern art sales is just a front for money laundering. That the NSA regularly posts these questions in order to see what people know. The New Coke conspiracy is a great, non-political one. The idea is that New Coke, a formula change of the most iconic soft drink in history, was done deliberately so that people wouldn't notice the change from sugar to high fructose corn syrup. I'd watch a movie about that one. Not the most believable, but fairly believable. The assassination of Archduke Ferdinand, of WW1 fame, could easily have been prevented but was deliberately allowed to happen by militaristic elements in the Austro-Hungarian government who wanted to use it as an excuse to move against Serbia. I have a local one. I live in the south. It very rarely snows, and if it does, it typically doesn't stick. But I could believe the local weather station, which is sponsored by grocery stores, typically plays up the chance it'll snow. I can't count how often they talk about the threat of snow only for nothing to happen. And if it does, it's not gonna stick around. But people buy out milk and bread and stock up for Fimbulwinter every time. Like clockwork. The Korean fan death conspiracy, a great thing to Google for those of you that like random information. So for some reason for like 60 plus years some people in Korea believed running a fan in a closed room can be fatal. A conspiracy theory came out that the Korean government actually tried to put legitimacy behind this myth of fan death, just to lower the amount of energy consumption in homes. Considering how prevalent propaganda by governments were in the early and mid-1900s. I totally believe it. Edit. I never said government propaganda doesn't exist anymore, guys. LMFAO. I was just pointing out how obviously prevalent it was during those times, especially due to the wars occurring. Throwback Thursday was made by the FBI and NSA to improve facial recognition and predictive aging algorithms. Epstein didn't kill himself. Edit. The word conspiracy doesn't mean it's not real. It just means people or companies are conspiring together. The light bulb conspiracy. There has for 97 years been the technology to make a light bulb that lasts forever. They build them to break. Here's a link. Antivirus companies make computer viruses. The media is trying to divide us more than ever for their own gain profit. Disney created Frozen to make Walt Disney Frozen a harder thing to find online. The Coca-Cola Company introduced New Coke, which had a completely different taste than the Coke they had made for 100 years, and people hated it. It was a complete flop. Several months later, Coca-Cola introduced Coke Classic, which was the old Coke recipe. After a while they discontinued New Coke. So what's the conspiracy theory? Well, this all happened at about the same time that they transitioned from sugar to HFCS. By introducing New Coke, having people clear the shelves of old Coke, and then introducing Coke Classic with HFCS, nobody noticed the transition from sugar to HFCS, and instead celebrated Coke Classic's return. Brandon from 9th grade didn't actually fuck my mom. My favorite conspiracy theory is that everything is going to be okay. JFK getting 360 no-scoped by the fucking CIA. Like, why the fuck would the car slow down to a school zone speed after it was getting shot at? Also, it was right after JFK said that he'd bring down the CIA for fucking up the Bay of the Pigs invasion. That the ultra-wealthy buy and sell art for exorbitant amounts of money to launder vast amounts of wealth. O.J. Simpson's son was the real killer and he basically took the heat. The term, conspiracy theorist, is used by the people in power to ridicule and mock the people who look too closely into the suspicious things the government does in order to discredit them. That way, when a conspiracy theorist actually finds the truth, no one would believe them because they're a crazy, tinfoil hat wearing, conspiracy theorist. Crappy Sonic was a marketing technique.